I want to talk about one of, if not the most important concept to understand whenever you're first starting out, and you're looking to start flipping some items. You're looking to start buying some iPhones, Apple products, whatever electronics or other items that you're looking to buy and resell. One of the questions that I found myself faced with whenever I first started was, well, why would anybody sell something to me for cheap enough to where I could make a good profit on it? Why would they? Why would they accept my, quote unquote lowball offer? And I want to paint a picture for you. So let's start with just imagine that you have something to sell. You have an iPhone to sell. You go on Facebook Marketplace and you post it, and immediately you're greeted with a bunch of messages. A lot of these messages are people trying to send you codes to hack your email account, people who are trying to get you to ship the item to them and scam you out of the item. There's people who are going to ask you a bunch of different types of questions and never actually buy it. There's people who are going to offer you a $100 for something that is worth $900. And so, you've got a busy life, right? You've got stuff that you're trying to do, and you're talking to all these different people on Facebook, and yeah, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. You might be like, you know what, maybe it's not even worth selling this thing. But then somebody comes along and they say, hey, I'll give you, let's say, $600. Maybe the device is worth 900, and I'll give you 600 for it. Well, this person has been beat up by Facebook Marketplace. They're just ready to get something for it, but to put an end to their suffering, essentially. Um, and if you ever posted something on Facebook Marketplace, especially if it's like a high value item like an iPhone or something like that, you will probably relate to this experience. So one of the reasons why somebody would sell something to you for way cheaper than what you can sell it for on eBay, or you can even flip it back on Facebook Marketplace if that's the way that you wanted to go with it, is because of the simplicity, the what am I trying to say here? The easiness that you can provide them. You provide them with a quick transaction, an easy transaction, a sure transaction. So that's one of the reasons. And of course, there will be people who are, they're willing to wait. They're willing to talk to all the different spammers and the scammers and the people who are going to waste their time, and they're willing to wait for um, the right offer, the market value offer. And we're not looking for those people. That's not who we're trying to buy devices from. But they are out there, of course. And there's other situations, such as, I often buy stuff from people who, they have bills to pay. Maybe they're behind on rent, and you know, tomorrow is eviction day, or whatever. The light bill is going to get the light's going to get cut off, and they need cash. So maybe they have a $900 phone, and they'll take 5 or 600 for it because they need the money now. There's different types of situations in which uh, it makes sense for somebody to sell it to you for a lower price than what it's technically worth market value. And you're actually providing a good service to them because the value that you provide to them, whether it is giving them something so that they can pay their rent, I mean that's immensely valuable to them. From other people's perspective, it might seem like you lowballed them and did a disservice to them, but from their perspective, you just help them pay their rent or keep their lights on or whatever it is. Or from the other perspective, you just relieved them of having to deal with all the stuff that comes with Facebook Marketplace. So I feel like it's a very important concept to understand, because the one of the limitations, the limiting beliefs that I found myself facing when I first started is, how am I going to consistently find people who are going to sell me stuff that's so underpriced that I'll be able to make an actual good profit off of it? And there's a lot of different scenarios as far as why they would do that, why they would sell it to you at such a low price. Another reason is, people will go out here and they will finance. Let's say they finance a cell phone, an iPhone 14 Pro Max or something like that. They finance it and then they realize they can't keep up with the bill. So they've only paid, the first payment towards it maybe. And even though you can only technically sell it for parts because it can't be activated with another cell carrier, since the phone isn't paid off, you can still get a good $600 out of it, depending on how many gigabytes it is and what condition it is. But anyways, if they've only paid maybe $100 towards the plan, and you're offering them $400, then it's a good deal to them. For maybe they don't care about their credit, they're just they realize they can't keep up with the payments. They're just going to get some quick cash out of it. They technically only paid $100 for it and a ding on their credit, but they're happy to take 400 for it, and then you can make profit there. There's so many different situations in which somebody is going to happily sell you something for much less than what you are able to resell it for. So this is a concept that, again, I feel like it's extremely important to understand, to realize what kind of value you actually provide to to the people who you're purchasing these devices from. You're providing value. It's a good value exchange for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't sell it to you for that price. Whereas the person who is willing to wait however long it takes to get the offer that they want, to them, it's not a good value exchange. So they're not going to sell it to you for the price that you would like to get it at. So it's all about value exchange and perceived value, and everybody's situation is different. So you're looking for those people who have something that you would like to purchase, and their perceived value is aligned with what your perceived value is of the transaction. So that's kind of like more philosophical, I guess. But I feel like it's a super important understanding to have when you're doing this business, to understand, why does this work? Why would somebody sell me something that's so much cheaper than what I can sell it for? And also, like, am I providing value? Am I really doing a service, or am I just out here lowballing people and taking advantage of people? There's two different ways to look at it. I feel like a lot of people probably take that latter perspective, and for me personally, it's really of how can I be of service? Because if I'm not serving that person, if I'm not helping them by this doing this transaction, I don't want to do business with them. If that makes any sense. If it's not a valuable transaction to them, then I'd prefer to not make the transaction. If they feel like they are being manipulated or coerced or taken advantage of or something like that, then that is not what I aim to do. I only aim to make transactions which are in alignment with trying to help and be of service. And I hope that makes sense. I see some other people in this industry who speak of um, kind of manipulation tactics, if we're being honest, how to manipulate the sellers into getting a lower price, how to maybe to convince them why they should take a lower price. And there's just different tactics that to me, they just feel a little bit dirty, I guess the word I would use. And I prefer to go about it in a more helpful way. How can I help this person? If I can't help this person, if this transaction won't be helpful to them, then I'm not going to pursue it. It's not about, oh, I can say this and that, and then make them think this way, so that way they'll give me a lower price. That's called manipulation. I'm not looking to manipulate anybody. I'm just looking to make transactions that are equal value exchange, and both parties walk away happy. I hope that makes sense, guys. I feel like this is super important to understand. And if you see other people who are teaching tactics on how to, you know, uh, get leverage over the sellers and like things of this nature, basically how to manipulate them into accepting a lower price. Personally, I don't align with that. If you do, hey, go right ahead. That's your choice to make. But I'm just kind of sharing how I like to look at it. And yeah, so that's all for this video. I hope that helps. I hope that aligns with some of you. And yeah, till next time.